Welcome back to episode 16, Conversations with Rob and Lou. And the more I was thinking about it, the more I like the name of the podcast.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, it does work. And it's exactly what this is because
Right.
I didn't tell you this actually, but the last video, someone commented on it
Oh, well.
and said something along the lines of, keep up the uploads, I'm watching from Brazil and I'm going to use your videos to learn English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
So it was someone. So thank you, whoever's watching.
Nice.
I believe it was Brazil. Sorry if it wasn't.
Cool.
But
There's a, hopefully this isn't offensive to our Brazilian viewers, but there's a meme of people commenting in like music videos of like so-and-so, you're so great, come to Brazil.
really,
Yeah.
Is it because they do like music festivals in Brazil?
I think they just wanted there to be like a concert in
Okay.
in the country or something.
Yeah.
But it's just a funny
Nice.
like
Is it like a meme that has a picture that goes with it?
no, just like a meme as in just like a text comment. People will say that.
Okay.
And it's like you
Interesting.
see that and you're thinking like the person didn't do that randomly, like they're doing that because it's like a funny thing people say.
Yeah. Like, what does it mean though? Is it just
It's just funny. Like
Okay.
it's just like a funny thing of like
it just started as
Like-
an internet thing? and-
yeah, it's just like everyone's asking the artist to come from Brazil. No one's gonna actually go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like of all the places, Brazil would be a pretty good one
No,
to
it
go
would.
to. Yeah.
It'd be really cool to go to Brazil.
They
Like that.
have Rio de Janeiro, right? Isn't that?
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the big festival. I feel like that would be a place
yeah.
to go.
Also,
Yeah.
just the Amazon forest sounds really
the
cool.
Amazon forest, which is like burnt down or something. I don't know.
The burning parts.
A lot of it. was
It's the
burnt.
biggest rainforest in the world. I think.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
it's
A lot of
take
it
a while.
wasn't all of it on fire at one point, or like a huge amount of it, and everyone was posting on social media, "Save the rainforest." And at the
who
same
saved
time,
it?
yeah, no one saved it. But at the same time, there was some huge cathedral that got
Oh, yeah.
burnt down. It was Notre Dame.
Was it?
Yeah, it like a ton of damage,
Yeah, I
and
remember
billionaires
something.
were sending in money left and right, and then people were like, "Wait, what about the rainforest?" Like,
Yeah.
it was, like everyone was trying to save the huge cathedral and not the rainforest, so that was like a funny thing. That was
Yeah, it's
going
kind of
on.
ironic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it goes nowadays.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's like the rainforest is like, what are you gonna do if a giant forest is on fire and you can't
Yeah.
like cart a fire truck in there?
Yeah,
like,
there.
there's like not much you can do.
I think
but-
there were some efforts, and people were using helicopters and stuff, but it
Yeah.
was so much that was on fire.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And I think it was because at the time farmers, and I'm not well versed in this. Sorry, person from Brazil, if I'm just like slandering these
You
people.
can inform us in the comments.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that farmers were setting it on fire because they wanted more land to farm on, and they were
Yeah.
upset that too much was being taken up by rainforest.
Upset, but
Yeah,
But yeah.
or no, they were mad because
they're
the
mad at
government
the rainforest.
because the government was saying like maybe that there were regulations where you can't burn down the
Yes.
rainforest because it's protected, and they were like, we need to expand the farm or something like that, something along those lines. And I believe really conservative guy came into office, and I actually don't know the full story, so I don't know, but I heard it was the farmers who started the fires because they wanted more land.
That makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah,
it's like the rainforest is good for nature, but not good for people.
yeah,
Or
Oh,
it
it's
doesn't
good for
seem.
people.
Yeah, it doesn't seem good for people.
Yeah,
Like people see this and are like, "What's all this nature doing here? We need to farm
Yeah.
more stuff, or like
Yeah.
make more food for us."
for people in that area, it's maybe not ideal to have like this huge oxygen producing thing right next to. Although that seems like it would be really good for your air quality
Maybe yeah.
to have the oxygen, because I think there's some statistic like the Amazon are the lungs of the world. I don't know. There's some shift in the house,
That was pretty
but
sad.
that was. But I think 30% of the oxygen comes
Oh.
from the rainforest
Nice.
and all the plant life that's there. So
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
There's actually another statistic that I think it's something like it's talking about like the amount of organic material that's in a living organism in the rainforest.
yeah.
I think it's something like 90% or like some like really high percentage. Maybe it's like even like 95% of like the actual like matter that is sitting around in the forest is part of a living thing, where it's like
85%.
or 95%. It's
95%.
like almost all of it.
Wow.
Whereas like in the temperate region where we live, it's like at fall there's like so many dead leaves, and it's just like we have to like break it out of our yards.
What matter are they talking about? Like dirt and stuff?
Yeah, like dirt, just
Really?
anything.
The dirt?
I think organic molecules.
Wow.
So like not metals and rocks and stuff,
yeah.
but like
okay.
if there's a leaf that falls within like a few seconds, there's something like some insect eating it, or like
wow.
something decomposing
So
it.
there's not much dead stuff around. It's all living.
Yeah, it's all just
wow.
like like a super densely packed living thing.
That would be cool if the whole world was covered in something like just a sphere of life. That would be really cool.
That would be pretty cool. It'd be very hard for civilization to form.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
or,
too much.
If we're all alive, like...
Yeah, but you can't make like a stable building.
Yeah, it wouldn't be...
If there's trees growing all over.
Yeah, it would be like Avatar. You'd just be living in the trees and
then get killed by the more advanced civilization. Yeah, perfect.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
There was something crazy that I heard about I think it was the rainforest. I forget. It was so clear in my head like 2 seconds ago, and I just completely forgot what it was. It will most likely come back to me. But it had something, I don't know if it had something to do with medicine.
Oh, yeah.
No, okay. It was some guy on Joe Rogan who was saying that, hold on, this is going to come back. I've gotten half of it now. He said, let me take a sip of water and just recount.
Good. But there's like some sort of like strategy, like a debate or something. You just like need to think for a second. You're just like, let me just...
one moment, please. Yeah. Oh, man, it was a really cool fact. It was something about the rainforest. And I don't know if I'm going to remember it right at this moment. Damn, it was so cool. It was a really cool...
Was it about how like they find a bunch of medicines and stuff?
No, they do that. They do find a bunch of medicine. This was something kind of unique. Oh, it was such a good one. I'll remember by the end of the podcast, and if not, I'll put in like a little text over this, and someone will see it. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
Nice.
And other than the new viewer that we got from Brazil, I was looking, and
new viewer,
we've got like the videos have been getting like they haven't been getting huge, but they've been like some people have been seeing them. So welcome everyone who's new.
Yeah.
Hello. And
probably more so years from now once.
Once
we're millionaires, and this is a fun thing to watch.
Yeah. I know the throwback videos really are the best. Like, we're not doing this the normal YouTube strategy.
But is it a throwback if we act the exact same now as we do in the years when we're millionaires?
Okay. Yeah.
It's all just the present.
Well, yeah, it is all the present.
Of our timeless empire.
It's more so like a cultural throwback. Like we are a throwback to how YouTube videos used to be. Like zero effort put into this.
Yeah.
No idea what we're doing.
Or we redefine YouTube videos. And they all become like this.
I want that. Yeah, I want that because at this point I've been looking at YouTube and it's almost too enticing. Like the stuff is too enticing and it's all kind of the same thing, like really quick cuts, and I'm not too interested. Like there's no value almost. It's all too valuable.
Yeah. It's like it's almost like value isn't what we want out of it.
Yeah. Like I just want a weird video where there's just a guy talking and he looks like a rat and reviews fast food.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I don't know who he was.
It was Review of the Week, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Or no, Report of the Week.
Report of the Week. Yeah. Just I want more of that on YouTube, and I feel like there's still a decent amount, but not enough.
Yeah. I was thinking about the we were just watching what were we doing? We were just like watching random videos or something.
Yeah, I don't know how it came up.
Maybe like Marky's recommended
Marky's
or something.
YouTube account. You're still logged in, Marky.
Yeah.
Our computer.
Don't log out though.
Yeah.
But the idea that like that guy is just some like random kid who started making videos. Well, he looked like he was like 10 or something when he started. He's just been doing it for like over 10 years, and he's just like made like thousands of videos doing the exact same thing pretty much. And it's like it doesn't seem like he's doing anything that special. It's just that he's been around so long and been so consistent that it's like almost inevitable that he'll be like not famous, but like YouTube famous or whatever.
I think he has a unique advantage because he's really, in my opinion, gross, but unique is a better, more fair word for it. I think he has an advantage because there's a lot of generic people out there.
The thing about it is like if you're doing the same thing for 10 years, you're bound to be unique. It's like unless everybody's copied you along the way.
Yeah. No, that's true. But there's a lot of people where I know you don't go on social media much, and I don't either. But every now and then I'll just look at like a Snapchat story and just for 2 minutes scroll through and just see everyone's because they're all like 5 seconds.
Right.
But a lot of the people, and it used to, I feel, just be girls who would be really what you'd call basic. But now it's a lot of the guys too. Where they just say the same kind of things. Like they say, whatever the current trends are, they're like, yes, sir, when they do something.
Or, memes.
Yeah, they do that kind of stuff. And they've all, a lot of them at least, have kind of conglomerated into the same kind of thing. And there's already people, like they're just kind of copying people who are doing it better than them,
Right.
who are like actually like, you know, the top dogs of
Right.
social media, who are really making the memes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's not that unique what they're doing at this point.
But it's also the weird thing of like you're saying they're the top dogs of social media, but it's
Yeah.
losing more and more like value almost. Whereas like being the top dog that makes like the yes sir meme or
Yeah.
something, it's like we don't know who it was because
Yeah,
it's just
I don't
like
know who it was.
it's almost like not a high skill thing. It's just like a
Yeah.
did you like get like did you find the right key to the algorithm for this cycle of
Yeah.
memes almost?
Well, we don't know who they are, but I bet the person saying yes sir in their Snapchat has an idea of who it might be.
Yeah, but it's not connected back to the person anymore. It's like
Yeah,
if
no,
you
it's not.
was that like Christianity or that's too far of it.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking about Naval or something, like
Yeah.
we go like talk about the cool business ideas he has, and we're like we never forget that it was Naval that talked about it first.
Yeah.
Whereas like the social media, it's like maybe some people remember the origin of like the Vines and stuff.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like the TikToks are so many. Like who knows where you heard like XYZ meme from?
Yeah.
And there's no time to even like track it down to care.
That is very true. Actually, I just realized one specific example. Have you heard full send?
Yeah, I've heard
When
that.
someone's like, hey, full send that or whatever. I don't know exactly how they use it, but they say full send.
I heard it like with reference to skiing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
When you're
that might have
about
been
to do
started.
something crazy.
Yeah, like jump off something.
Yeah,
or, like,
you just full send and jump off a cliff.
Nice.
But I realized, like, just recently, like, just 2 or 3 days ago, where that came from. And it came from this group of guys who are big on YouTube, Nelk. Have you heard of Nelk?
I don't think so.
I hadn't really heard of them. I'd heard the word.
It's like Norwegian or something.
I don't know what
It
it is.
sounds-
I don't know what it is, but they have a podcast, the Full Send podcast.
Oh, interesting.
And they made it.
Huh.
Like, that wasn't a thing. They made the term Full
send.
Send. And that's where it came from. And I only recently realized that. And they were like, we coined it. I think they said they trademarked it, maybe. Their podcast is the Full Send podcast.
Yeah.
So I bet they would. But
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
I was gonna say it's hard to say if they originated it, but if
I think
they
they're
trademarked
saying
it, yeah,
that they did.
I'd buy it. Yeah.
And I could believe that because I didn't
Yeah.
hear that, 4 years ago. I wasn't hearing anyone say Full Send.
Yeah.
And I feel like their podcast probably popped up around that time. And
Yeah. That's
like,
cool.
it's a big podcast. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that is a good expression. Because it is a little unique where it's like people don't say send that much,
yeah.
but just when you hear that you think of like sending a message and it's like a risky thing and you're just like full steam ahead.
Yeah,
it's just,
it
like,
does seem like that.
Yeah.
But they're,
It works, yeah.
Like, those are the kinds of guys who are the meme makers. Like, I don't know exactly what they do. I only saw one of their podcast episodes. But it seemed like they were all kind of athletic guys who would party a bunch. And were just big on social media. I don't know what they do. I think they're just famous, kind of like the Kardashians, just for being famous.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's how it
those are the
works.
kinds of people who are making the memes, and then there's a million like fanboys of them who are
Right.
copying those memes and who are saying full send in their Snapchats and
Yeah.
and spreading it to us who aren't following them.
Right.
And so we don't know, but I think there's like large bases of people who do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes me think, this is a little bit of a segue, but the idea of poor people always wanting to be rich. But the fact that there's like, it's not that common that poor people just randomly become rich.
Yeah.
And if it was like everyone, like
Yeah.
that, there'd be too much of a cyclized or like recycling
there
of the
would
rich
be any
people.
poor people, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the same sort of thing of like the people saying full send think they're being funny. And it's like the best they can do is to copy what the richer people or like the more popular people are doing.
Yeah, yep, that's true.
And it's one of those things where it's like wanting to be popular or rich or whatever is going to like almost like force you to like impulsively find something to do. Whereas like the faster you choose like the meme to say, the less original it's going to be because it'll be like the first thing that pops into your head.
Yep.
Like the most recent thing you saw.
Yep.
And it's like the people that are making the memes didn't get there by like starting out poor and like copying everyone else. They either like got there by not caring that much about getting famous, or they already were famous, so they didn't have to
Yes.
care, or they were already like there,
And I think it's such a prevalent and just like a perfect example, the news report of the week guy, because he was not copying anyone, it seemed, and
Yeah.
just like looking at what he was doing in the beginning, I can't imagine thinking that would have been successful.
Right.
Like it just seems like one of the lowest value things, like most pointless things to have around.
Yeah.
But
Almost like
somehow-
self-destructive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like somehow it's become massive. And just because he repetitively did something over and over again, not copying anyone, like just a completely unique thing. Like no one else was doing that I'm aware of. I'm sure there are other people reviewing food. Yeah. But it was almost just, it's such a perfect example because of how gross it is.
Yeah.
And how it like has no appeal to anyone seemingly, but then it just became huge just because he repeated it over and over again.
Yeah. Almost like the most extreme example is that there literally is no audience for it. He just like little by little like hypnotizes a portion of the population into becoming his audience.
Yeah.
It's like there's not even like it's one of those things where it's like it's almost like a force of nature. Whereas like you know, like the exponential growth of things. It's almost like if you start a YouTube channel and keep making the same videos for 10 years, it's almost like or it seems like it's obviously not true, but it appears almost that it's impossible to not have it exponentially grow.
It does seem that way until you find some of the other channels that are out there that didn't happen to hit. And some of these guys have been making videos for 5 years and they're crappy videos and no one watches them. And they get like, 10, 20, 100 views a video. And it seems like we're also maybe looking at this through a lens of we've only seen the successes.
I was gonna say the survivorship bias.
Yeah, the survivorship bias. But there are people out there who do try and maybe they just haven't tried long enough. Maybe it's like they need 20 years to really build their audience. A lot of them, I have, just out of curiosity, looked at some of those YouTube channels that are just doing the same thing for 20 years and never growing. And it's bad in a different way from what the report of the week was. It's bad because they're really putting on a fake show almost.
Yeah.
And they're trying to copy and unsuccessfly doing it. Like they're not good at copying.
Yeah, it's not just doing the same thing forever. It's like doing something original.
Yeah, and they're really bad actors. Like they, in their videos, will be way too jubilant. Yeah. And it seems very fake and it is very fake. But the report of the week guy acts a little, I don't know.
Yeah, but actually I was going to say, like what am I saying? He's not completely unique because he's just doing like almost like a parody of a news reporter.
Yeah.
So it's like he's not
completely unique.
It's like he's unique enough.
Yeah.
Where he's adding like he's a goofy kid doing it.
Yeah.
And he's adding enough to it, but it's like he isn't being 100% unique.
He's not 100%.
And it's not what you need. Like, you don't want to be 100% unique.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just be making random noises.
Like something too weird. Yeah, you need to like latch on to something that exists and do something interesting enough with it or weird enough with it so that people will watch.
Yeah, or just add like enough. I wonder what it is. Like maybe you have to add enough of your personal like flair to it or something.
Yeah. Well, with that guy, do you think it's the same people watching every video, or do you think it's like someone sees a review for Domino's and they're like, I've gotten Domino's, and then they see, and then someone else sees one for Taco Bell and they click on it?
I think at this point it's probably like the same people watching.
Mostly the same people.
Because it's like how much. I think you're more likely to have like a brand loyalty to the report of the week than the like a fast food chain or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people that eat fast food don't. They probably have like political views of fast food, but they probably don't like watch videos because it's Domino's or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Know. Yeah, I don't know. Like it does just seem like the weirdest channel because who is watching a review of a fast food burger? Like, I'm not curious.
It's probably the was like the social eating where it's like people are eating their food, watching it like a screen.
Do people?
And they want someone to eat with or something. Yeah.
Do people really do that?
People do that. I do that. Or not in that, like not watching people eat.
Okay,
like, I have a screen in front of me when I'm eating.
Yeah, no, I do too. Yeah, I listen to a podcast or something. But do people actually watch people eat while they eat?
There was like a I think it was kind of a trend on Twitch
of
like the social eating where it's like streamers would just be eating.
So that people could eat with them?
I don't know how long they would be eating.
For all day.
It's just a 20-hour
a noodle a minute, that's it.
No, but a
streamer sounds cooler because then it's live and then it is
you're actually interacting.
Cool.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like a great idea for a stream. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Marky. Come on.
Marky.
That's it right there.
Right.
24 hours a day and you make some money doing that. Yeah.
But that definitely is a thing. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tip your streamer while that could be a thing. Like you tip the streamer while you eat with them. Maybe they every like at lunchtime. Oh, they could do it at certain times of the day, and then come up with different meals, and you could make it with them.
Oh, yeah.
and then you could eat with them, and
That
you
could be good.
yeah, that would be it. And
I'm sure someone's done that. That seems like a really
that
good,
seems like a good idea.
if you're just a good cook, you just make like a cooking stream.
Yeah.
A cooking/eating stream.
Yeah, just 3 meals
That's
a day.
definitely-
Someone,
100%.
if you haven't done it, someone needs to do
There's
that.
probably millions of channels doing that because
Yeah.
everyone can cook.
That's true. That's true.
But,
I know there are a
that's
bunch
good.
that do the recipes where it's just the easiest thing in the world. They make
Oh,
it
yeah.
seem like the most extravagant dishes. They're just like, watch this 3-minute video, and it shows you all of the hand motions they do and all the steps. And that really simplified cooking a lot. Like, that made it so that I feel confident enough to say I could make 90% of meals.
Interesting.
I'm sure there are a lot
Yeah.
that I couldn't make
know-
where you have to use a blowtorch or something.
Right. No, but yeah, I've been thinking a bit about cooking and how like, because I went to that festival where this is a long story, but we were camping and one of our friends just made just like sausages and peppers and onion and some seasoning. It was just like
Yeah.
the most unexpectedly good meal.
Cooked over the fire.
Yeah, it was cooked over the fire.
Yeah.
But it was making me think of like, there is something about cooking. It's like, there's like a technique of like, if you're like a chef in a restaurant and you want to add like 10 different ingredients, like as the thing's cooking, you have to add them, and you can't just like prepare it all beforehand. Like you have to cut it and then immediately add it. Like there's a lot of skill, I think, that we kind of take for granted.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the knowledge of what ingredients to select.
Yeah.
Because when I'm cooking, at least, I notice that a lot of what I use to make the food taste good is powders.
Yeah.
It's a lot of seasonings and powders. And I think that it really helps to just use just instead of onion powder, just throw in some onions. Instead of crushed red pepper flakes, like throw in some peppers and then something make it hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like there's so much variety in the like once you stop using the powders and you start using real things.
Yeah, the real things.
It's like it's probably so like I don't know, there's probably so much like nuance to like how much of the onion to add or like like exactly how long to cook it and stuff.
Yeah, I bet there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of what we might not even think of just off the top of our heads is not only does it add the flavor, but then you get the juice of the onion and maybe that's acidic and it seeps into the chicken breast and makes it taste better. And there's probably all kinds of reasons that the foods taste really good together that you're just not going to get from a powder.
Right.
Yeah.
And also just like it's almost like things that aren't easily communicated. Whereas like if you have a chef watching you do it, they could be like they could see the exact ingredients you're using and tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Or like know how hot the stove is. But something on the internet, it's like unless you buy the exact same stove and the exact same like source of ingredients, there's like only so much they can tell you.
Yeah, because a lot of the a lot of the powders that we buy, I feel, are the cheapest ones we can find.
Yeah.
And it makes like I question it a little bit. I'm like, is the garlic powder that we're using way less flavorful than the Premier garlic powder that's $4 a bottle than the 50-cent thing? It's like probably a little bit less.
Yeah, but
I want to say
that sounds like a little like not a scam, but like it's not. It's like at the end of the day, it's still garlic powder.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see that you can taste the difference between like a really old apple and a fresh apple.
Yeah,
and imagine if they're doing that with garlic, or if they're just using kind of. No, this just tied in to what I remembered from Joe Rogan.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
nice. Good.
So this is cool. So when some guy was talking about the rainforest, and he was saying that a lot of plants are, because of how much CO2 is in the atmosphere, they're experiencing plant obesity, which is where they get much bigger than normal plants would, but they're far less nutrient dense.
Yeah, interesting.
And less healthy overall because of that. And so potentially, I mean, there are like higher quality plants that people could be using to make the garlic powder that are just jam-packed with flavor, have more nutrients or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Versus like other cruddier farmed garlics that maybe don't use as much fertilizer or whatever it is. Like there's probably a ton of factors, but
right. But definitely the fruit we eat.
Yeah,
is like,
the fruit.
The fruit is just massive.
Yeah.
And it's just like very, very unnatural. Yeah. That is a very funny thing of like, it's almost like there's, like we're putting so much stuff into the atmosphere and we're also making so many plants for ourselves that like they're like so much food. Like it doesn't seem like a coincidence that like humans are getting obese and then the plants are getting obese.
Yeah, everyone's getting big.
And it's just like that is just like a very like ironic thing of like we're getting too good at like not like maintaining the planet obviously, but like too good at like making the value that we need.
Yeah.
It-
The obvious value, because
Yeah.
like we could be all suffering
Right.
nutrient deficiencies, have enough calories.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Because-
I'm sure
yeah.
obese people are like, you have a massive body with like,
Yeah.
with no extra nutrients, just extra calories.
Yeah, because we're only caring about the things that we see, and we can see the size. And it's tough to, like, that's such an easily memorizable thing. You could take a picture of that plant, and then you could see the next crop next year, and you could see, oh, they're smaller. These are worse. Do what we did the year before. But maybe they tasted better. And there's no real way to remember how they tasted a year ago accurately.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
also,
where it's, Go ahead.
it's also not like, if you think about like the evolution of it, like a plant being bigger will evolve naturally because we just see this plant's bigger, and like all the people that are like hungry and need more food are like, make more of this plant. This is better. But then, like, unless it's always like there's never going to be enough people that care about the flavor. It's always like caring about the flavor doesn't, like, you're not going to care that strongly about it. Like, you're not starving because it doesn't taste good enough.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no evolutionarily like actual like there's not enough drive to have like the nuanced nice flavor and the nutrients and stuff. It's like the lowest level like obvious things
And that's
that are
what
likely to get selected for. Yeah.
And that's what my cousin, not Marky, but Alec, said one time. And I don't know how true it is, but he was saying that in the United States, we grow our fruits and vegetables for size and not for taste, which he says they do in other countries.
Oh, yeah.
And that he's been there and tasted them, and they're so much better than what we have in the U.S. And I believe it. Like,
I'm sure.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess what I'm talking about is more like what I see in the U.S. or like medieval times and stuff. It's like, I'm sure like the more developed but like slower growing places are able to like select for the taste more.
Yeah.
And have it more like artistic.
And some of it might just be that in the US we have really simplified, like we think we understand the science a little bit, and maybe we don't fully. We understand maybe that we could pump 50% more water into the farm, and then the plants will be 25% bigger and will yield a bigger profit because of the weight. And what we might not think is that most of the weight is just extra water weight, and that dilutes the taste of whatever fruits and vegetables we're eating. And they don't necessarily care about that, but it could just be worse. Yeah.
Right. But like the sort of like our mentality about money is really good for some things. And it's like it kind of trickles down to having more technology and things like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like the money isn't the real thing that matters.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're selling your plant, like your grain for more money, it doesn't mean it's any better. It just means you can like get people to pay more for it.
Yeah. In a way, like I bet I want to say
indirectly.
I want to say that the $4 containers of the garlic powder are probably better tasting than the 50-cent ones, because there's probably people who do care a lot about taste, and they sought out garlic powders that maybe were more expensive to produce the certain amount of weight, but that did taste better. I bet that there's a way that the money could help you find that if that's what you wanted.
No, yeah, I'm sure. But the thing is, it's an indirect sort of thing where it's like that garlic powder might be better, but the fact that it costs like 4 times as much doesn't like have any actual effect on the quality.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's sort of like indirectly, if you charge more for it, people are going to expect it to be better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything to actually make it better. It's sort of just like it's a little arbitrary, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, with some things like that. I mean, I could see them maybe having like higher quality, less easy to mass manufacture, like more organic pesticides that just are safer for humans to consume. So maybe it could be like if they had a higher budget to work with that.
But the thing is, like, it always could be. It's like there's no
guarantee.
I should think of like a better example of like if it was like a more if it was like yellow garlic powder instead of white, whereas like the yellow is like it's like what if we only ate it for the color?
Yeah,
and it's like the yellow one is more yellow.
Yes,
like there's no way to like trick you into thinking it's more yellow because it's like an obvious thing.
Yeah,
whereas like the price isn't what you're eating it for. You're eating for like the things that the price hints at. You know?
Yeah, I think at that point, like the reason that stuff does get more expensive is because what's perceived as good stuff is the stuff that most people can't get or don't have access to, and so it's just produced not at large of a scale as the cheaper stuff. Like
I believe that it like the $4 one probably is better, but it's like I'm just saying the exact same thing, but it's not guaranteed that it's better.
It's not guaranteed. There have been times
like there's no guarantee.
There have been times when I've bought like I think some expensive earbuds, and they were cruddier than the cheap earbuds that I had.
Right.
And they just broke, and it was garbage. But
Right.
yeah. But we have about 7 seconds left.
Good.
So overall, I
Interesting.
think, interesting stuff.
Very different podcast than normal.
Yeah, different, but
I like the idea of just like kind of like an interesting conversation.
yeah, just whatever happens, happens.
This is almost more true to the name than the more like focused ones.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. And this just, I had no idea this is what we were going to talk about,
Yeah.
but if it helps someone learn Brazil, I'm down for it. So,
Right.
or help someone learn
was gonna say,
English.
what
I don't know
did
what
you
I'm saying. Don't take English lessons from me.
Yeah. Also, it's
All right.
I was gonna say if you say Brazilian,
I don't know what I was saying. Just help someone learn
you
Brazil.
You didn't say you just other countries' name. Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
I had an idea
good.
in my head. All right. Anyways, thank you,
Yeah.
new viewer. Thank you, Marky.
Yeah. Sorry that the end of the podcast is always black as we're like
Yeah,
as we're saying the
we
goodbyes.
could try to prematurely end it, but I don't know.
I don't
Like
know.
30 minutes is short enough, so I'd
Yeah.
rather have some of it be black.
I've always liked the idea of doing like multiple segments. But
Yeah.
it is also nice to have like we can just schedule like a 30-minute.
Yeah, it's so convenient. And
Yeah.
if we ever needed to, we could always click go and just have a second one going.
Yeah.
Like, why would we have it
I
in
would-
one? No?
We could, but like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not probably not going.
No, yeah.
For like
But
5 minutes. But yeah.
Sorry these episodes aren't coming out. My computer is broken.
Oh yeah.
And
By the time this comes
hopefully-
out, you won't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, they didn't come out.
That's what I'm saying, because the
Yeah.
person was like, on the last episode we uploaded, he was like,
Ooh.
don't stop uploading. I'm
Oh,
liking these.
no,
And I'm like,
no.
oh, geez.
We lost the viewers.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.